I have seen The Notebook and Titanic.
Seen Wuthering Heights, Titanic, 12 Years a Slave.
I've seen Atonement, Forrest Gump and Titanic.
I really like romantic period dramas. I have seen quite a lot of them. I've seen Titanic, but then it wasn't everyone. I've seen Atonement, which I loved. I liked the book. I often watch them because I really like reading the book first, and that makes me want to watch the film.
Titanic and Forrest Gump.
I have seen films such as Titanic or Pride and Prejudice.
I like to get introduced to the characters and like to learn a bit of the backstory.
Definitely the location.
I think characters, they have to be interesting for me to watch the film.
I like to get a sense of where it's taking place, so I like the location to be the opening, a big establishing shot where I can feel like I've been pulled into their world in some way. And yeah, the character's important, but somehow, if it's historical, I want to feel like I've entered that time frame.
I like to see sort of where the scene is sort of getting set and meet all the characters.
I like the location of them. I like seeing the location and the setting.
Why?
Why? I think it sets the scene, it sets the tone of what the film helps you understand what kind of period you're looking at as well, rather than just the characters themselves.
Yes, I think they are.
Well, definitely, because the props give you an indication of the era that might be.
Yeah, they are, because they emphasise the emotions and give a better effect.
Oh yeah, props are really important. Sometimes they're the clincher, they're the reason why. I think in Titanic it's all about the throwing it into the sea in the end. You know, there's a lot of props that have a lot of importance in period dramas.
Yeah, because they sort of set the tone of the film.
I'd hope so, to establish the accuracy of it.
I'd probably say The Notebook.
Definitely Wuthering Heights.
Titanic.
I mean, I like loads of romantic films. I like loads of 1940s movies in which women were proper women and weren't objectified and actually were the main characters in the film, not the man, and therefore you felt like they were a little bit more complicated and complex as characters and they had more troubled lives, and I liked the actresses at that time.
If I was to say something like Love Actually,
Yeah,
as being that one being most memorable.
Gladiator.
Probably 12 Years a Slave.
Romeo and Juliet. Because I studied it for 3 years in English.
probably recently is Atonement. But I think that's probably because of the shots. There's an amazing sequence on the beaches in France with an extremely long take that was phenomenal. And it was sad, you know. They're very sad. The plots of these things are very sad, and they make you leave the film going, my life's better than this.
Titanic.
Historical film. It would probably have to be a war one of some sort. It's The Great Escape.
Probably South Bank.
I guess it depends on what the historical moment is that's being documented. It could be a palace, London streets as they were.
Somewhere iconic like the London Eye.
Okay, so typically romantic places in London would be maybe some of the beautiful parks we have, the river, anywhere near the river, Kew Garden, some of the pagoda. I imagine there'd be lots of romance going on there. I'm trying to think of places where people would get engaged, maybe up on the South Bank by the London Eye. an amazingly glamorous restaurant on the top of a tall building somewhere with a view over the city, something like that.
Probably like Buckingham Palace or the London Eye or something quite iconic.
Oh, all the kind of typical romantic places. I don't know, something by the river, the parks, a kind of old setting of it rather than any of the modern stuff.
Like historical towns and places like that.
I guess it depends on what the historical moment is that's being documented. It could be a palace, London streets as they were.
Somewhere iconic like the London Eye.
And as well, I'd expect to see all the kind of the old classics like the Houses of Parliament and
Yeah.
the kind of the state buildings, Buckingham Palace, war memorials, those kind of things.
More iconic sort of historical monuments, so Buckingham Palace, Tower of London.
I'd say Tom Hanks.
That would be Alan Rickman then, probably. He was the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Denzel Washington.
I don't know. I mean, I keep thinking about The Great Escape, but I don't know whether, in terms of the actors within that, someone like Richard Attenborough. He's done a few of those, and he's very good in those.
Angelina Jolie.
At the end of The Notebook.
My all-time favourite is Robin Hood swinging across to Marion and saying, "I will die for you." It's Robin Hood.
Titanic, when Rose pretends that she's flying and the different angles that capture it.
About Time, Richard Curtis film, and the moment where he decides that he needs to stop going back in time.
Probably the Titanic,
What moment?
because when they're on the top of the ship, at the front of the ship, and she's pretending to fly.
Kim and Kanye.
Yeah, well, David Berry and Demand come to mind straight away.
Ryan Gosling, Eva Mendes.